My name is Hannah and I'm a volunteer with Let's Talk Science at the University of Victoria. You may have heard that there's a meteor shower happening. The meteor shower that's happening right now is called the Perseid meteor shower, and it happens every August. You have probably heard meteors called shooting stars before, because they look like stars streaking across the sky, but we're going to see that they are different. The reason we can see meteors right now is because we're passing through a trail of comet dust. When the dust is in space, each piece is called a meteoroid. Meteoroids are made of metal or stone, and they're very small, only about the size of a coin. In space, there is no air, so the meteoroids do not feel any air resistance. But if they enter the Earth's atmosphere, it's a different story. If you've ever been on a roller coaster or in a car with the windows open, you probably felt a lot of wind. Meteoroids travel about 1,500 times as fast as a car on the highway, so you can only imagine how much wind they feel. When the meteoroids enter the Earth's atmosphere, there is so much air resistance and friction that they get really, really hot and start to burn. That's the light we can see, and at this point we call it a meteor. Because most meteors are really small, they burn up very quickly while they're still very far away from the Earth. If you've ever watched a shooting star, you know they don't last long. Stars, on the other hand, are much larger and last way longer than meteors. Stars are outside of the Earth's atmosphere and are made of lots of burning dust and gas. While meteors last for a second or two, stars last in their mature phase for about 10 billion years. Did you know that the sun is a star? There are lots of different sizes of stars. Some, like the ones in this picture, are much bigger than the sun. But the sun looks big to us because it is much closer to the Earth than any of the other stars. Ancient people from all over the world knew the patterns in the stars very well, and they used the stars as a map to navigate both the land and the oceans. They also observed the positions of certain planets and stars, using the knowledge of when and where they would appear to mark the seasons and annual events. For Canadian Indigenous people who traveled to different places at different times of the year, the stars were important both as a map and a calendar, telling them when to move and how to get to their destination. Many cultures also use the patterns in the stars as part of their storytelling traditions. Most people are familiar with the Greek names for certain groups of stars, called constellations, but the Greeks were not the only people to find pictures and stories in the sky. People from many Canadian Indigenous cultures found bears, loons, thunderbirds, and more. One example is the constellation Niska, from the Cree people who live in central Canada. Niska is a goose, and it points in the direction that the geese fly during their migration. If you're looking for a craft to do, why not try making a constellation viewer of Niska or another constellation? Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a little bit about the skies around us.